and welcome to another broadcast of AmericanFreePress.net. I'm Mark Anderson. This is my Across the Nation news video series. I'm continuing in my second interview on here with Terri Hall, who heads Texans Uniting for Reform and Freedom and the San Antonio Toll Party, and she gave some remarks here in the wake of tonight's broadcast of Bill Molina's new edition of Truth Be Told, a hard-hitting dynamite documentary on the Trans-Texas Corridor, the tolling of freeways, and the overall problems of corruption in this latest edition within the Texas Department of Transportation, and how it doesn't listen to the public, how it breaks state rules about lobbying and hiring lobbyists, and all sorts of improprieties and inconsistencies. And Mr. Molina's documentary, shown here tonight at the Palladium Theater in San Antonio, unearthed and exposed a lot of these problems. And Terri's been in this battle quite a while now, and thanks for being on here.
Thank you.
If you would, Terri, kind of cut to the chase. You had talked about current lawsuits. What is the status of TURF's lawsuits against TxDOT or whatever parties are involved, and where are you going? I understand there's a recall involved. Between now and Election Day and the end of this year, and that time frame, what are the important issues here?
You're right. We have several lawsuits. Two are currently pending. One's pending in a decision from the appeals court, and that's involving what the film's about, which is the illegal lobbying by our highway department, using taxpayer money to hire registered lobbyists to lobby in favor of one position, and that is tolling, and particularly privatized toll roads with these public-private partnerships.
Excluding gas tax, normal funding,
right,
and excluding mass transit.
Right.
Not even mentioned.
In other words, there's lots of funding mechanisms available for building highways, and a state highway department, as well as the federal for that matter, a state agency is not supposed to take sides in a political debate. They're not supposed to favor one position over another. They're supposed to be apolitical and totally neutral and just implement policy. Yes, they have toll roads as an option. They also have gas tax funded roads as an option, and they have mass transit and other types of bond funding and such that they can use for highways. What our Department of Transportation has decided to do is wage a political ad campaign that also included hiring registered lobbyists as part of this, and they are lobbying in favor of trying to change public opinion in favor of toll roads. They know that they've got a huge controversy on their hands. There's a huge public backlash to what they're doing. And because of that, they decided to hire PR firms and put together a slick marketing campaign to try and convince the public that no, you really do want toll roads. And they literally
this is all under the aegis of Keep Texas Moving, which
right,
sounds semi-neutral, but it's not.
It's not.
What I've seen in the film is largely shows that they're talking out both sides of their mouth, and they're saying that just simply taking the public pulse, they're saying that's not marketing. They're saying they're just assessing what people believe. But there's such a thin line there, as I pointed out to Mr. Molina. But based on these observations and revelations that you've brought forth, what is the current plan of action then? How many lawsuits are now in play? 2 going on 3?
Yes, we had 3, and then one got dismissed because they said we didn't have standing in court. But our lawyers fundamentally disagree with that assessment, that as taxpayers, since the body that we were suing allocates tax money, we felt that that gives us standing, sufficient standing. So we may bring that case again, but right now we're really dealing with these other 2. And so in that trial, in the trial court case of this illegal lobbying case, we unearthed documents, not just that they hired registered lobbyists to the tune of over $100,000 a month, we found out, but also this slick ad campaign that they were putting forward, only sang the praises of the toll road in the Trans-Texas Corridor and never gave any of the downside, like that it's the most expensive option, or that we lose some of our sovereignty by handing over our infrastructure to foreign entities and things like that. Nowhere on the Keep Texas Moving campaign website is there anything about gas tax solution or mass transit solutions or bonding or anything else. It's all pushing tolls, and we actually also found them conducting push polls, literally political polls, asking people if they're Republican or Democrat, if they vote straight ticket Republican or Democrat, and asking very political questions, and then pushing them in favor of the corridor by giving them all these positive statements.
Did they back down totally on hiring registered lobbyists? Did they just stop?
They just stopped. They stopped in the midst of our lawsuit once we got to the discovery phase and started depositions. They stopped it. However, what they've done now, since then, is they've hired former lobbyists to now become in-house lobbyists in Washington on behalf of the Department of Transportation. In other words, they're still engaging in the lobbying behavior.
Going to the federal level.
Yes, and there's a statute against that as well. There's a specific statute that says you cannot hire registered lobbyists as a state agency with public funds. But there's also a section of the government code that says you cannot use public money for a political purpose.
The Hatch Act.
Lobbying, yeah, well that's the federal law.
Yeah.
The Texas state law also, which is Texas Government Code Chapter 556,
right, also
has a provision that says they cannot use public funds for a political purpose.
So cutting to the chase, you have the illegal lobbying, you have the other one where they try to argue you don't have standing. What is the lawsuit of the two remaining ones that has the best chance of success, or which one is most, which one is the hottest one right now?
The 281 lawsuit,
okay,
that's what got me involved in this fight, was when I first learned that TxDOT was going to come in and take an existing highway that's already built and paid for, all 4 to 6 lanes of it, and convert it into a toll road, and now charge us money to use that same stretch of road.
So the two lawsuits going now are the 281 trying to convert it to a tollway,
right?
And then
the illegal lobbying. Those are the two active cases.
And the third one that is no longer active
was against the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is the local board that's set up by federal law, where it's made up of county commissioners and city council members. And the problem with our board is that half of it's appointees, which is a problem. That MPO board is who decides. They allocate our federal gas tax money and decide where it goes to local projects.
Okay, so therefore, along with trying to prevent 281 from being converted to a tollway and fighting the illegal lobbying, and then the MPO one is sort of shelved for now, a major goal of yours is to have an elected state Texas Transportation Department official, one elected official instead of a 3-member appointed board.
And that's something that we brought before something called the Sunset Commission. Certain state agencies here in Texas are up for something called Sunset Review every 12 years, and TxDOT's turn is this year. And there's a section of legislators, there's some House and Senate members that make up the Sunset Commission, and they have the authority to have oversight over TxDOT and literally scrap the agency and start over again from the ground up. And one of our biggest recommendations we fought for is to have the 5-member appointed Transportation Commission be replaced with a single elected commissioner.
I thought it was 3, but it's 5.
It's 5.
Oh, okay, and then one of the tricks they're trying, and as we wind up here, is that they want to say, sure, we'll give you a transportation official, but let's have him just be appointed by the governor.
Right, they still want it to be a political appointee.
So they're trying this third way that is the worst way.
I agree. I do agree.
I mean, potentially.
It's so much easier for them to control a single individual than a whole commission.
Yeah, even if he's replaced one lackey with another.
That's right.
As they say.
That's right.
Okay, well, this has been an interview with Terri Hall of TURF and the San Antonio Toll Party, explaining the lawsuits and what lies ahead and the changes they'd like to see and the different things going on with the state Texas Department of Transportation. You've been watching AmericanFreePress.net. Stay tuned on this website for other news segments. I'm American Free Press writer Mark Anderson. This is the Across the Nation news series. We'll see you next time.